some of them there is a connection issue between the two brain hemispheres, but it's a very controversial theory, mostly because it really can't be proven or disproven because we don't have any fossil records of our brains. So anyway, I wanted.
Yeah, but Sam, they've got. Don't they have skulls? Don't they have skulls that go back 5,000 years? I mean, what's the oldest human skull? Because
Yes.
I know, but how, if the skull's shape, the skull encapsulates the brain, so like you would be able to, you know, get more evidence. You might be able to. I mean, that you're making an all or nothing statement about a theory, so you're already shutting down possible explanations of your own theory. I mean, I'm just trying to provide more, eyes on your theory.
But you have to also be, those eyes have to scientifically make sense. So you cannot figure out the soft tissue of the brain uh, and the structure of the soft tissue of the brain using the skull. So, I mean,
Well, is that just like your opinion, Sam, or is that a fact? I mean, is it a fact or is it opinion, Sam?
no, that's a fact
That's a
because
fact.
the most
Oh,
information you can
it's a
get
fact.
is about the
It's a
contour of the
fact.
outside of the brain because the skull or
Well, Sam, look at it this way: if I put a condom on my dick and I take that condom off, are you going to be able to tell for sure that I have a little dick or a big dick? You know, you're making all or nothing statements as if what you're hypothetically saying is true. You should probably try to learn the difference between a fact and an opinion. Look into it.
you should also realize the difference between something that's relevant and something that's irrelevant. So that would be my best. Where did John go? Hi, Joanna.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to the stage.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm watching a movie called Furious. It's like the big thing now. It's girls that were kidnapped as kids and now they're getting revenge on their kidnappers as adults.
Property taxes and investing in the government to otherwise demonize the people who are paying the most of the property taxes. Why are people making accommodations in the curriculum to have an understanding in one of the segment of the community? You know, shout out to a lot of people, on the Republican side that say, listen, transgender people are 1% of the population. Why then are you asking 99% of the population to accommodate the awareness, the preparedness, and the overall?
Hello? Is this a new room or an old room? Because I'm in a different Trump house room.
It's a new room because someone boomed me up to this room.
Oh. Well, Dr. Adams is in there fighting on behalf of the property taxpayers. Meanwhile, he's supporting Karen Bass, a liberal progressive socialist communist who doesn't give a shit about the property taxes, doesn't give a shit about the education quality. So, in my opinion, if you want to build the black and white communities, which are extremely still very much separated from each other, geographically, culturally, educationally, spiritually, uh, and I'm telling the collapse of society is not going to be the birth rate. It's the cell phone and the content and the media that people are consuming, which will collapse the society. And the black community is already imploding. The murders, the deaths, the homicides every single weekend, the battles for streets and corners against Latino gangs in every major city, and the influx of all these illegal aliens battling for services, benefits, and also the street markets. So, I mean, obviously, the only solution is new programming. And really, the library is the future. And if AI can do anything for us, it can save us with regards to the quality of content and getting people to be creative and to start looking back as opposed to forward, because all the good information is from the past. So, really, the future is always going to be education and people that engage in it. Because they are the survivors. The survivors are the ones who utilize the knowledge, the information, and the wisdom of the God, of the universe. So that's how we build communities. You build it on truth, on wisdom, on justice, on peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. People on this app are not peacemakers, Edward. This app is a drama creation app with dramatists. And once you realize that drama is one of the main pillars of art, you'll understand what's really happening, and you won't get sucked into the drama creators, energy tractor beam, which is what drama does. So I am complete, Edward. I hope you liked my submission.
Society or a government to come up with.
So it was very, very good. I'm just trying to find out. So when I get removed from a room, then I can't see that room anymore. Is that correct?
I believe that's what happened. Let me go double check.
Yeah, if you get removed from the room, you will not see it in the hallway again. You're out.
Yeah, that's what happened. I don't know who removed me though.
Yeah, but don't take it personally, because really it's just the universe telling you.
I don't take it personal. I don't take it personal at all. I'm just surprised. That's all.
Well, don't be surprised. I'm the most kicked person on this app. I've been kicked from 10,000 rooms. I've had 100 accounts, and it's just a game. And I think you are actually being taken in by dramatists, and it's not healthy for you. And then you don't have the awareness to know that you're being suckered by a fool. Like, if they're talking, they are a fool. And if you're engaging with them, I know you're trying to be like a coach and give people life advice, but you got to remember, they're not here to receive your opinion and advice. They're actually here to fight. And they're here to create drama. And that's something that is not common in the real world. Most people don't go into conversations with the attitude of, I want to fight. But people come here with that disposition because it's free. They don't have to pay to be here. So their worst behavior comes out. And it's because they're low IQ and they are, it is what it is. They're here doing what they do because they don't have the wisdom or the knowledge to create peace. So, we just have fighters. And I'm telling you, your message is great, but you're being taken in and wasting a lot of time having redundant conversations with the same people. Like Coco, you will never, ever, ever accomplish anything arguing with Coco. Coco is a drama maker. That's my point, is that he's one of the pillars. It is, once you observe it and recognize it, you're like, oh, I'm crazy for even communicating with this drama maker. It's ridiculous. Hello?
I'm
But at the same time, I'm not trying to build drama.
Edward, you're in the matrix, so
I don't know if it's me, but I really couldn't hear anything you said. Sorry.
She's talking about the
How much
mullahs
she didn't
that
answer
was in
the-
charge of. She didn't
Brother,
say that.
hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on, Muhammad. She did. I know she didn't really say she's gonna kill the 18 million. She was referring to the mullahs.
She said,
You're lying
You know,
per
if
usual,
they're-
like you always do.
I mean, I'm done with this, man. So,
Oh.
Bro,
Look how sensitive he is. So
You gotta stop coming in the middle, man. You let him
Honestly,
let
you're
explain
just
and then
so
we can do
He's
it.
sitting there lying and saying
Stop
she said
letting
something
him
she
up.
didn't say that.
He wasn't lying,
But
Sapien.
no, but Amir,
He-
we fucking lost Muhammad for the sake of Sapien. Jesus.
I know.
And
Let
we
me
lost
ping him
Bibi
in.
because of you.
Hold on.
anyways,
Let me ping him in.
when it
Let's
comes
see
to
if he comes back.
when it comes to Bibi has no information about Iran while being an Iranian. I'm sure that Sapien knows more about Iran than Bibi because I had a chance talking to Bibi and asking questions about Iran. She already don't know the name of cities in Iran, the ethnicities living inside of Iran. She's so retarded. You know, I don't know, she
Is-
just
I mean, for the first time ever, I agree with Ali.
Oh.
yeah. Bro, I never agree with you. Anyways.
I never agree with He looks at you as an enemy, Benny.
Do you agree that Bibi's retarded?
Don't accept his agreement.
No,
Hey,
that's not Cindy.
and Ali, find a way to disagree with Benny. I'm on your side, Ali. We all
Surprising.
agree with Benny Adam. That's the most important thing in life.
I did ping him up and back in. Let's see what he says.
Well, so I walk into the room and he's accusing someone of saying 9 million people should be hanged. I'm confused.
No. So she didn't say that.
Wait,
I kept on. Bibi, the Iranian chick.
Okay, he's
retarded
claiming he claimed. What did she say?
That she wants to kill the 18 million. I was trying to ask her this question. She could not. She did not want to answer the question.
Wait, which 18 million? 18 million.
So there's a survey now from the Pahlavi. When you talk to Pahlavi supporters, you got to bring up the sources from Iran International and Gaman survey. There's surveys out there that shows that there's about 20% support. 20% support for the regime, for the government, right?
Okay.
So now 20% out of 93 million, you're looking at almost close to 20 million people.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I said, if Reza Pahlavi comes in power, are you going to kill those 18 million people that support the regime? She could not answer the question. She kept on flip-flopping. She's like, I want to, line those mullahs up. I said, what about 18 million people? She did not want to answer the question.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so she didn't literally say it, but she was.
No, she didn't. And when I called
almost
Muhammad
implied.
out online, he threw a bitch fit and stormed off.
I agree with him. I think that he did that Biden control. It was a controlled experiment where he was talking about those 80 counties and how they
achieved. Because now that is, that is the basic outlook that people have. Is they identify with a group, their rights and needs for the group, and they have to adjust their personal and individual rights and needs in accordance to that.
Well, give me an example of a group that you think is being an imposition.
All of this came from. All of this came from a statement that was made that was very incorrect. To sit there and say that Democrats represent a smaller part of the nation of America, when usually Democrats are located in metropolitan areas. And we do know that the metropolitan, and I'm not talking about the rural areas, even though there are black people in the rural areas of for example, Mississippi, and some other rural areas in the South, but like the Midwest rural areas and stuff like that, we're really, there is that statement being made was very disingenuous to the actual fabric of our nation as it is today. Because if that wasn't the case, if Democrats really weren't a
populace.
a significant majority, then you wouldn't have states like, for example, Tennessee going into Democratic cities that are predominantly Democrat and then splitting them up on the congressional.
So I think that whether it's more establishment Dems, non-progressive, progressive Dems, DSA Dems, I think that everyone understands to a certain extent, some more than others, that going into the general, we do need to, people don't want to hear it, don't even whisper it. That's why I think that it's going to be bad for Republicans who are going to run on something that's, quite frankly, a little bit too dated. This anti-woke, anti-wokeism. It's not going to bear well for them. It's not going to be fruitful for them because they're just going to be punching against, no, where's it in our mouth? They don't like it. I think that the establishment has learned enough now to know that we essentially need to shut the fuck up about trans issues, and maybe we can move some things down the ballot in some of our statewide or some of our, state level government, but we need to really zip it and focus on this cost of living and the angst of the working class, which establishment Dems are responsible for just as much as Republicans are, to a certain extent over the last several decades. So, yeah.
Scott, that clip was the talking. Did you say 80%?
Me down to where I was trolling, sis. Walk me down to where I was trolling.
What the fuck I said?
Where? You just talking in the wind, flapping your gums. Flapping them banana flappers.
Like the fuck I said.
What are we doing?
Like
Who's
the
trolling?
fuck I said, bitch.
Who's trolling? What did I say there was
I
trolling?
need to repeat myself.
What did I say that was trolling?
Are you not here?
What did I say that was
Are you
trolling?
not here? What
did I say that was trolling?
Are you not here?
Can you not hear? Open your mouth. Articulate yourself, monkey. Articulate yourself. Who is trolling? Hold on. I don't think that he can hear loud enough. I don't want to do it, y'all. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. We bring out the pistol, y'all.
What you have to say.
I don't have to hear. Excuse me. Who the fuck is trolling, monkey? I'm asking you very fucking clearly. Who is trolling? Who's trolling? Who's trolling? What did I say? Give me a time. Give me a date. Okay? Who is trolling? I know some of y'all monkeys can't read my right. So again, who's trolling? Who's trolling?
I said him, Adam.
Excuse me. When was I trolling?
I said you are.
When was I trolling? What did I say? What did I say? What did I say, monkey? What did I say? What did I say? Repeat it. We want to hear it verbatim. You're not going to out-talk me. Again, I got the loudest mic. So again,
You ain't got shit on me.
What did I say?
I never got him to troll, bro.
Thank you. Like, hello. So, you want to know what you said?
I was never known Adam to troll.
So what he said was.
Thank you. When am I trolling? I believe this shit. I believe the shit that I said. So
now you
again,
don't want me to say what he said. Y'all see this?
shit that I
Now you don't want me to say what he said.
Hey man, come on man. Y'all saying a bunch of nothing.
he won't answer the question.
Can I
He won't answer the question.
You talking over me. Hello?
Can I get in the queue? You can talk right now, man. Go ahead. One mic on the nigga that want to get in the queue.
I can't don't play with me. Okay, so are the black and white communities building at all? No. Okay, because there's so much propaganda out there with blacks and whites in America that I don't know. I'm just like lost and confused on what's happening. I mean, this country is about to become little Mexico, little China, little India, little everything. And like, I'm just so shocked because if like, I thought that racism was big and all that other stuff, but it's just like, y'all just allow this country to be just destroyed based upon things that don't exist anymore. All these isms and isms and kisms and Beyonce's and Rihanna's, and I don't even, it's like time is moving by so fast and just nothing is general. There's another dead white person, not dead black person.
You know, unfortunately, you have people in the 12th grade who are said to be reading at maybe an 7th or 8th grade level. Like, those things have to be corrected. We haven't even gotten to college yet. Like, we need to really get people like the fundamentals, the basics of reading and arithmetic, and but also to really absorb those things, to really enjoy those things, to understand the importance of those things.
I think if we're talking about some sort of way to repair the society, to create more, unity and all this stuff, I think it's not just using education as a tool for technical skills, but there needs to be some sort of mythos, that is created, that is shared by everybody. People need to start liking, not even loving, but just liking their country and the country that they live in. Because right now, starting in middle school, kids are taught, that they should be ashamed of the country that they live in, that it has never done anything good, that it's always bad. The whole history is contingent on the first sin. And what kind of adult will grow out of that? Adult who is ashamed to be where he is, ashamed to participate in the system. He hates the system. He wants to, denigrate it or dismantle it in some way, shape, or form. And that will create only bad outcomes. So it's going to come to a crushing stop. So I think creating a shared idea, a shared, national identity of some sort that used to be what was, holding the society together. I think that's the key.
Does anybody know what happened in outer space? I don't even know what took place.
I have no idea, man. I thought you just lost the
Did you get my
connection.
ping, Howard? Did you see me ping you to the room?
What happened, Professor?
Did you see me ping you to the other room?
No, I can't see the room anymore.
I sent you a ping.
I think usually something like this happens when somebody has you blocked and they're on stage or something like that.
That's what I'm trying to find out, if he's blocked or if he was removed.
Yeah, it sounds like he was removed. I don't know if you had posted any messages. Oh, he's gone. But if he posted messages in the chat. Okay, Edward, if you can't get in, I will take a look and see. Did you post any messages in the chat? Because that's the quickest way to find out. If I don't see you in the chat, then that means someone removed you.
Yeah, I can't see anything in the chat over there.
Were you able to get in the room?
No.
Yeah, so someone removed you. I'll go take a look.
But another very strong driving force right now is resentment. Like a resentment towards the system that failed people's expectations. And I think there's a lot of components to it, including the, like the employment. And this is why people feel that the system owes them something, or the society owes them to pay for their higher education, owes them to make sure that they have a job. And the only way to accommodate them is through government interference. Having something like quotas that will assign them jobs, like they did in the Soviet Union or something like that. And that's that's a path to failure.
I don't disagree with you, but I thought, Andre and Professor, I thought we were having a good conversation, but it was kind of crazy.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find out, why are we basing everything outside of numbers? Okay? Why are we thinking that the system is against any individual? If I want to participate in the system, then I got to figure out how the system works. But if I believe the system is against me because I'm a male, because I'm ethnically black, whatever, then I got to stay away from that part of the system. That's how I see it.
Well, it's how people feel. I think that's one of the the tragedies of human condition, because we rationalize our feelings and we try to make sense out of them internally. And if the reality does not complement of how we feel we should, like what kind of return we should get, it becomes a conflict, and people try to change the reality to make sure it accommodates their internal feel about what it should be. That was, like the craziest part of the conversation that I entered in was like when I forgot who was claiming that the higher education is a right somehow. I mean, on what basis? Like, why would you have that right?
For you.
Wait, I'm on from you now. I'm in my field. Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you
you have
have
to.
the right to skilled labor?
Well, Beef, you were accusing Steve Apple of being a mod fascist, and you have openly admitted that you've been heavy-handed with the green bean when it comes to John Kitover. And now you're slandering and defaming me by making, libelous comments. And my attorney, Dr. McZett here, though he's busy with his 15 children, I'm sure would be happy to represent me in your jurisdiction in a lawsuit. Thank you very little.
Oh, that crazy guy. I gotcha. That's the crazy one I'm talking about. Yeah. That one. Okay. But, listen, it's not too easy for me to, and I'm even like one of the friendlier guys with him on the app. It's not so clear to me when he's in the room because of his million accounts and his obsessive listening and recording.
I found it pretty like I think Reddit has an option to save.
Also, Zlin, you should just have a quotes folder. I have a quotes folder. It makes it much easier for me to reference shit that I think is like I'm gonna bring up later.
I save my stuff as Facebook posts that I like put to be private only for me, and or as comments on Reddit that I leave. So that's how I save my stuff.
Also, you should add me on Facebook if you haven't already. I post lots of shit there.
There's this Irish TikTok crazy person that I watch who's she's very into all the conspiracies, the Epsteins. She just deep dives. One of her things about Reddit is she's firm that Reddit is a psyop for Maxwell and her father. Ghislaine Maxwell owns Reddit or invested early in it, and there's she even proved that some of the early comments are straight up her because they stopped happening when she went to prison.
So there, that's not true. I'm familiar with this theory. There's a Reddit account called Maxwell Hill that people claim
For McGraw Hill, right?
Sorry.
For McGraw Hill, that's the company her father owned.
Okay, I see. I mean, it's not actually her. I mean, I guess there are a few timing coincidences, but it's clearly some guy who lives or has been to Southeast Asia, and the main piece of evidence is that his activity stopped right around the time when Maxwell was arrested. But I'm pretty sure people even though he stopped posting publicly, people have gotten in touch with him, and he still has access to his Reddit account. He was probably just flooded with insane conspiracists accusing him of being Ghislaine Maxwell and just left the app. And I mean, it also doesn't make sense. He was this massive Reddit power user who was a mod in all of these, many, a huge number of Reddits, some of which are the biggest ones on the site, r/technology. It just doesn't seem super likely that Ghislaine Maxwell would be spending that amount of time moderating Reddit, that much Reddit.
Yeah, I don't think she was doing it personally. At least under this Irish lady's theory, she theorizes that it's part of her counterintelligence proposal of making people believe certain things that she wants. So she has underlings, but that she also uses the account personally. That's the theory.
I mean, sure, I guess it's possible. Seems a bit of a seems sort of.
I don't know. I just like the theory. I think it's fun.
Evil Day.
Yeah, so about the previous thing about the Chinese.
Oh my God, Zeleny, we've moved on.
Yeah, the thing the Chinese emperor is called, if you want to Google it, Wang Mang. So
Wang.
WA.
Wang Mang?
M-A-N-G. So he
This is
ruled
like the living emperor, or
he lived between 45 BC to 23 CE, so like a contemporary of Jesus. He abolished slavery and redistributed land.
Anyway, which dynasty
Nice.
is this? This is the Jin dynasty. Okay, well, that's not a very big dynasty. Alright, but that's cool. That's awesome.
How long did it last?
I mean, only during his own life, the next emperor reversed all the changes.
Yeah, that tends to happen when people try to free the slaves.
People often say that Muhammad couldn't have banned slavery because no one at the time banned slavery. But having this guy banning slavery 600 years or 700 years before Muhammad, that's a great data point. That's probably gonna go into my document. So thank you for that one.
Yeah, I can see you
Also
pulling that out of your back pocket at the right time.
There is a guy in the Middle Ages. There is a guy in the Middle Ages who abolished slavery, and his abolition remained in force until the modern era, and that's Louis X. In 1315, he abolished slavery in France by law, and that remained in effect until the modern era.
There was a woman named Bathilda or something like that, and she was a former slave that became some sort of high nobility, and then she banned slavery in some sort of duchy in somewhere in Europe, and she was kind of a contemporary of Muhammad. That's why I know about that, because I used it as my example that I tried to come to for people at the time had the idea that maybe slavery is bad.
All right, but Sam, I have to prepare you for the actual moving of the goalpost, because you should research who these people that ended slavery were, because if they were also slaughtering little kids, the Muslims are gonna throw that in your face.
Sure.
You couldn't really be against slavery, that time. This is a quote from Philo, so the 1st century BCE, recounting the view of the Essenes that he had contact with. And he says about them, he says, there is not a single slave among them, but they are all free, aiding one another with reciprocal interchange of goods, and they condemn masters not only as unjust inasmuch as they corrupt the principle of equality, but likewise as impious, because they destroy the ordinances of nature, we generated all equally and brought them up like a mother, as if they were all brethren, not in name only, but in reality and truth. You could get a more explicit and more adamant condemnation of slavery, and this is 1st century BCE when the Essenes.
I got a question. Do you think there was ever a slave master that raised his slaves to a very high degree to where the slaves actually, accepted their position legally, philosophically, psychologically, and were happy and pleased with their status because they were in the protectorate of a kind slave master? And then, basically what I'm trying to say is there such a thing as a solipsistic or stoic slave?
I have to recount it. We heard the question.
I'm sure such a person existed. I'm sure there was some really nice slave owner that existed. That would be very surprising.
In fact, I would guess that there was a huge amount of slaves like that. Probably the vast majority of slaves just accepted it as their, natural state of the world. They didn't know better or whatever. It's just a fact of life. This is what it is. And then I'm guessing huge amount of slave owners weren't just rabid, sadists that were kind of, attempted to treat people, quote unquote, decently according to the norms of decency of their time, which the slaves would also be accepting at that time. So I'm guessing actually a huge number of slaves were kind of okay.
And another sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I'm sure weren't there slaves in various Islamic empires who were appointed to high positions like generals or viziers or whatever. I mean, I'm sure they were pretty happy with the state of their slavery. I'm also guessing that many harem concubines were also happy with it. I'm sure many of them hated it, but some of them were probably just
in the Ottoman Empire.
I'm
They were
sure
like
many- I'm sure many harem concubines were just like, I don't have to do anything. I just have like infinite comforts and just have to have sex with this one guy.
Like once a year.
Who I may even be attracted to, and whose children I'll be raised even higher. Like, this is a great deal for me.
But I
There's
mean, like,
another example of
prisoner,
this.
right? People don't generally like prison.
Another example of this is the Greek slaves that would be Roman aristocrats would sometimes hire or buy educated Greek slaves, and then they would just be the tutors of their children. Probably a pretty easy gig as far as slavery goes, you know? And you could even buy your own freedom in Rome. So a lot of these Greeks would just like work like side hustles to get money, then buy their own freedom.
Yeah, no. When there was a path to freedom, that usually made it okay. Like the Romans were pretty good with that. You could get out of slavery there.
Well, like there's, technically today you have like modern, illegal slavery, and in most cases, like how these people are treated, there is some, technical possibility of them buying out their, freedom, and that's being like dangled in front of them, but they can never reach it. It's like.
Well, isn't like modern day slavery? I think it's Hillel or Maimonides that said if you can make someone angry, you can make them your slave. So in the attention economy and the drama maker creator economy on this app with a lot of faggot retards who create drama, they're like the slave masters of the people who get angry. Hello?
Who argues that Pro is funnier than you? That's like mean.
Currently,
Pro Lyrical was arguing very forcefully that he's much funnier than me. And then I said, do you want to have a poll on it that we put money on how the poll would go? And he's like, I don't, the classics, I don't want to bet money on things. I don't want to do a poll. And I'm like, okay, why wouldn't you want to do it? And he's like, oh, the fact that you would want to do a poll means you're not funny. And I'm like, oh, so people, there's no funny people that run polls. Like, there's no pollsters. Like, the people with the job that run, like, that have a good sense of humor. Anyway.
He's just trying to sidestep you by saying the very fact that you ran the poll proves that you lost.
Yeah, but not a very...
Well, you should have another poll. Who's the better musician?
For some reason, we were on Split today, and he started doing this, like, oh, you think you beat me in a debate? You think you're funnier than me? I don't know, he was, like, doing this, like, pompous shit, and then I was just in no mood for it, and was kind of being really aggressive. Like, who? Sam being more aggressive than is appropriate? No, really? Not him.
I'll call the papers tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're both musicians, and you're both retarded. So you need to have a retard musician rap-off competition, and let us all judge it and do a poll with your music and rapping skills, because musicians.
It's called battle rap.
Yeah, battle rap. We need a battle rap. An Ashkenaz ginger versus a sullied down, white pasty, ugly.
Yeah, but it is Pro. He's what's known as a Uyghur. Like, so in China, there's no, he isn't. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Uyghur.
Yeah, Uyghur.
That, I get that, but listen, okay, Uyghurs have actual genetic.
He's an offshoot from Eminem.
Scottish.
He was a guy who saw an Eminem video.
Eminem is an offshoot from the whore on the side of the road in Detroit.
See, what's amazing is Pro Lyrical has gotten laid at least 300 times at every performance. Yeah, and he has children, and he has a career.
Are you saying that he has sex as a performance 300 times?
I'm saying as a musician, it's a little bit like having a magic wand to make people's panties drop, because they think you're something amazing at the moment because you can actually use words with background music. All I'm just saying is a Uyghur is a very good description, and he has, I know you guys think I've wasted a lot of my time on this app, but Pro Lyrical is a premium time waster on this app. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I think he is good at it. I think he told me himself that he doesn't like having sex very much, so I think the 300 number might be a little exaggerated.
Wait, he said he had sex with 300 people after.
No.
300
Chicago
shows?
here said that he had lots of sex because of his musician abilities, but Pro Lyrical himself was being like, "Oh, I don't really I'm not interested in sex. There's just so much other stuff to do in life. Not wasting my time with that."
Also, what's with the English pronunciation? The name of that Chinese minority?
The Uyghurs?
Wait, so
they're called the Uyghurs?
Well, he was joking. He was referencing an English slang term, which is
I know, but
okay.
I know what the joke was, but the actual pronunciation of their name, the Chinese group, the minority group in English, is this weird. Thing.
Uyghur. Yeah. No, I agree. Listen, English is slow to develop stuff. My mom, for the longest time, kept referring to Muslims as Moslems.
Yeah, that's
how she.
It's a boomer thing. All the boomers used to say that.
That's what they used to call it. That's how it was written in the book, Moslem.
Yeah.
It's not her fault, but I'm sorry, you have to adjust it. The current English understanding of the pronunciation of that word has shifted.
Yeah, I prefer to go either by Mohammedan. Or
I like that one.
Or Saracen. I think both of those terms should be.
Saracen is so badass.
What about Mahometan?
I've not seen Mahomet.
That sounds like an alien from a planet.
I think Saracen sounds the coolest.
Wait, sorry. What about Musulman?
Ooh, Muslims.
Musulman. Is that one?
I think so. They did have men at the end of some of the pronunciations. Muslim, something like that.
And it's all the Muslims looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, we're the Musulman.
The Musulmans.
I'm going Saracen. I think that's a good term. I think it's cool. Makes them look badass.
I think they did a joke on that. I think with Monty Python, where someone was saying, "Oh, my dad is real old fashioned," and you see that he's dressed up in full Crusader armor. And he goes, "Get that Saracen out of my house."
You know how they have passport? You know how they have passport, bros? So I'm currently talking to a beautiful Muslim woman that I'd like to take out on a date. She's Albanian. She's drop dead gorgeous, but she wears the full burqa thing. And, I said, "Do you want to marry a Muslim man?"
She's gorgeous.
Well, her face is just stunning. But my point is, if I were to go the Muslim route and hook up with a hot Muslim chick that wanted to get married, I could be down for polygamy, because if I could have 3 amazing wives, what I'm saying is I can't even successfully have one relationship. So how the fuck would 3 wives actually work out? It would take incredible faith. And the women would have to actually be somewhat polite, and work with me and each other. So, is it possible? Is it possible?
Polygamy never works.
What about the Brandon Johnson attack ads that they would run against you if you had multiple wives?
Well, I'm saying I want to bring peace into my relationships, and too many women want to just say, "Buy me this, buy me this, buy me this. Ugh, I'm not eating that. Ugh, I'm not yuck." So I'm just saying that it's not a me problem. Women today are brand whores, and they want gifts and sugar daddies, and they don't want to have kids, and they want to take their plan B, and they, all I'm saying is we have a population collapse, and Islam is going to solve the population collapse because of polygamy. It is the greatest infiltration psyop ever created by a religious charlatan because of the polygamy aspect. You can divide, conquer, and mass multiply your faith very quickly. And notice, I didn't say faith. I said faith. Hello?
I don't think, they often have high birth rates, but I don't think the polygamy is the main culprit. I think it's mostly just poverty. Even monogamous, even monogamous couples in Islamic countries tend to have high fertility. And in fact, polygamy is relatively rare, so it can only count for so much.
So there's this thing with aphids where the aphids
their population will grow really fast because the mother, when they have children, they give birth to pregnant babies. So the babies are already pregnant when they're born. So they're all just like locked and loaded. So it's like every brood is like a double brood, if you understand the idea. I kind of suspect that Muslims might be doing this because it's just
Born pregnant.
Yeah, like that they're born pregnant. Because like, how else would they just like blasting out children like that? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just. I'm saying is look into it. That's the only thing I'm trying to get.
It's really, like in my estimation, more a question of social priorities. America's just not very child or family friendly.
Well, see, McZed, I know you're not. I know you know a lot of the Bukhari hadiths, but there's actually a Bukhari hadith that says when you impregnate a 4-year-old with Hydra babies, make sure that the aphids are in that booty hole. Something you might work with it. It's hello.
That's not Sahih.
Yeah, that.
Never read it before.
The Shias don't accept that one.
Narges, it's so good to see you. Narges, what do you think about people opening up Cult of Narges rooms? Like, are people on this app that lonely, depressed, and have no contact with beautiful women in the real life?
Day of like 6 idiots pining for you, Nargis.
What are you talking about? I'm sleeping.
Let me see. It was Barth, Mikhail, Daniel Nero, and they were like, "Why has Nargis forsaken us?" You're telling me that they were crying because mommy went to sleep?
This is so weird. It's getting weirder and weirder on this app.
Oh, it was always weird. Just people don't always pay attention.
Hey, McZed, are you in the Holy City?
Nope.
When did you leave Delhi?
Delhi?
I was pretending.
Get the hell out of here.
I was pretending that was the holy city. My bad.
Nah, I took the bus down to Eilat. At the border with Jordan now. They built a new airport.
Are you going to Petra?
Eilat. No, we drove past it.
Yeah.
No, Eilat is the great beach spot. You know, they got resorts and everything.
I've been to Eilat.
Yeah, it's great there. Here. And this is a really nice hotel. My wife's cousin comes here regularly. He's got 2 kids. Place is decked out for kids.
Have you thrown
You're
any?
going with your kids or with your family? You're going with your family?
Yeah. My kids are here. Yeah.
Have you thrown any rocks at any
They went to
stations
school
yet?
or what?
No, but I did get like ripped off by a couple of Arabs.
Okay. Well, I just think that you should be a part of the culture there. You know what I mean? You're in Israel.
That is being part of the culture. I'm a white presenting Jew speaking English. They rip me off. They feel a little better. Fine, whatever.
John Kitover, you're being way better behaved than you usually are, and I just want to commend you on your self-control.
That's what, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He is a very sensitive person, especially like in public around people. That's why he like compulsively gets into this thing. He usually can't calm down, but like when he is, he's like a nice, decent guy. He's just usually nervous.
I would in fact vote for him over Brandon Johnson, and I'm not being sarcastic.
You still
nice. That's one. He got one Canadian to vote for.
Canadian? What?
Oh, I thought Mark was up in Canada. My bad.
No.
It's not that cold.
What did you say, Sam? Like you kind of cut out.
Chicago's cold, but it's not that cold. Am I still cutting out?
No, you said Chicago is cold, but not that cold. I don't totally get it. Oh, you mean to be Canada? That Chicago would be Canada?
McZed, I've been to Aqaba because I have a Jordanian friend here in Chicago who's got a condo in Amman.
The Gulf right next to me.
Yeah, we didn't cross over, but when we were there, but we couldn't find a restaurant that was open. We're marching up this hill, so we find this restaurant. My friend's dad negotiates the price for the entire meal before we even sit down. Like we wouldn't sit down until we had the confirmed price, and then we sit down. I was like, "Are you sure you're not Jewish?" But anyways, they got that border crossing between Eilat and Aqaba, And I've never been to a lot, but I'm sure your side is better. But the Move and Pick is a nice hotel. But Beef, I am a nice person, and as Mixed said, I'm kind of sensitive. But the point is, this app, what I realized, because I read a book recently, and it talked about the pillars of art, and drama is one of them. And so, I'm a little bit of a drama maker because I live stream all my performances. And like your performance this morning, I clipped the shit out of it, and you're a fantastic drama maker, a creator. But Steve Apple, the world famous Jewish atheist, is also a drama creator.
Yeah, so we're dramatists. We're like basically like Shakespeare. You know what I mean? We're reading like great, beautiful plays for everyone to enjoy. It's very generous of us.
By rule of improper conjugation. Yep.
But Chicago, I think we just need to have a quick wisdom checkpoint. So, everybody, quick wisdom checkpoint.
Those always make me feel better.
Hold on, we're having a quick wisdom checkpoint. You should change the things you have the power to change and accept the things that you don't have the power to change, and then you should have the wisdom to know the difference. All right, that's our wisdom checkpoint. All right, continue.
Nice.
Well,
preserve the things that you don't want to change, but you do have the power to change.
Well, I have a tattoo on my arm that says I'm the biggest faggot retard alive. It actually says that the more you think...
You have like a really long arm, or is the print really small?
It's small print, but it says the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get, or those who say do not know, and those who know do not say. So if you know the secret to the recipe, well, you don't really talk about it.
Just based on that logic, those who know do not say, those who do not know say, wouldn't that be like a saying that somebody said, and thus would be...
Yeah, the book said, yes, the book says that mystics are chatterboxes, and they have to be, because if you look at it from an economic or a business perspective, it's just the publishing industry, and it's the content creation industry. Every single person in history basically was a content creator, and I have proof. I've seen videos of Adolf Hitler making videos as if he was a social media influencer in the fucking 30s and 40s. And he's a faggot retard. So the point is...
But he was also a social media influencer.
Yes. And so when AOC is on day 15 of freezing eggs, you have to realize that you, the consumer, you're a faggot retard. Because you yourself have no priorities. You waste all your time looking at stupid fucking content stuff. Hello?
We're really good for a little bit. You're
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Short, very little amounts. More trying to censor yourself. You're little good, but now you're trying to make it the Chicago Joe, and now it's pissing me off. So just
He's a dangerous guy to give attention to.
Just throw in a jab every once in a while. Throw in a haymaker. But don't make it the John Kitover hour. If that's But another quick wisdom checkpoint. All right, so you should have the power to win zero-sum games, and the intelligence to find non-zero-sum games, and then you should have the taste or the judgment to know which is which.
Yeah, I think you got to work on that one a bit.
Yeah, I got to workshop it.
For like pearls of wisdom, even though yes, the content is valuable, but it's really the poetry of it, getting it precise and like communicable so that it like sticks. Bird in the hand, two in the bush.
Well, I read books. Not many of you actually read books anymore. But if you've never read Epictetus, not Epic Tits, but Epictetus, you really should.
Slave Stoic, right?
Yes, and you really should read that because it's so intelligent.
Wait, is that Epictetus or Seneca?
Epictetus. And Marcus Aurelius is like the inheritor of Epictetus in a way. Yes, but Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, it's literally like the same writing, so I wonder if they're actually the same author. But anyways, the point is, if you've never read Stoic philosophy or the pagan moralists, you're really at a big disadvantage.
Big boobas.
You don't like Biggest Dickus?
I like bigger.
That was the funniest joke. And, it was Life of Brian. They just, they kept, what was it? I think Michael Palin realized that one of the extras was giggling, so he just started staring him down.
The writings of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus are similar because Marcus Aurelius was obsessed with like Epictetus's works. Also, another guy that's like really kind of underappreciated and known. It's Musonius Rufus. He was a Roman Stoic philosopher. Like there's a collection of his lectures that's preserved. It's pretty awesome.
So they've been starting to decode the Vesuvius scrolls. So basically, a library was caught in the lava, and people have been trying to figure out how to like get the scrolls to be read, even though they've been massively burned. And they've recently, with AI, been able to, and like scanning technology, been able to read some of them, which is like super cool. But unfortunately, it seems to be most of the things that they've translated are just the writings of one specific Epicurean philosopher. Like, so we were hoping that we'd have like a wide diversity of Greek thought in this library, but it's like only decoded like a very small percentage of the library. So who knows? We'll try to.
Well, let me just say this: when you read Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius,
Even Roman thought, right?
when you compare it to the Bible, you're like astonished at how stupid the Bible is compared to the moral pagans or the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus is so intelligent compared to the Bible, it makes the Bible look retarded. I am complete. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, Mil, Deepak had a huge blunder today. So I said Andrew should be called Chinadu, and then Deepak was like, I don't get it. Like, bro. Oh my
Because
goodness.
of his like 4 foot long chin, I get it.
Yeah, you would think that a person of Deepak's intelligence would be able to get that one. Also, given that he's a dad joke aficionado, so that's just a huge blunder from Deepak.
Makes me suspect it was an imposter Deepak and not the real.
Yes.
Yeah.
The real Deepak is being held up in a ski lodge somewhere in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, ever since he allegedly came back from Switzerland, he stopped getting the Andrew physiognomy joke.
Andrew should be called Clanger.
Nice. Pro Lyrical's here. Why don't you look at the poll, Pro Lyrical? Why don't you take a quick look at the
Can we also get a rap off? Can we get a rap battle? Let's get a rap battle going on.
Looks like you didn't win the poll, you fucking.
Hey, look, he's making a comeback.
Can I also just offer one more little tidbit about the Romans and Christianity and Jesus and the Jews? It's my belief that, the Council of Nicaea, the Romans, they incorporated Christianity, aka Judaism, into their legal, industrial, political, economic consciousness because the leaders at the time rationally came to the conclusion, hey, fuck it, let's make this fucking pathetic Jew the end all be all of everything. And this one book and these gospels, holy shit, let's just run with it. Fuck it.
Tell you about centering yourself. You gotta just. I'm trying not to do that, to just know that means you don't get to monologue, and that you should just every once in a while throw in it like a funny remark, but don't center yourself. That's what you gotta not do. All right, Millis, I think you should be called. I don't know. You should be called. No, I don't know how good.
What happened with Pro?
Pro, I smoked a pack of cigarettes, and then I had to stop, so I was kind of high strung. And for some reason, Pro was like, "Oh," I said, "Oh, it's something a joke." I sarcastically said, like, "Hey, it's a joke, Pro," and the Pro said, "Oh, you think you're funnier than me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Oh, you," and then he wouldn't have a poll in his room, and he said, "Oh, you just the mere fact that you want to do a poll proves that you're not funny. And I'm like, that's not how that works at all. And I was like, why don't we do a poll and put money on it? He's like, well, I don't want to put money on it. So then he was just afraid to have the poll. And now look at this. Look at this pro. Oh, you lost the poll. Oh, you little boy. Oh, it looks like you lost it. Oh, looks like you're not as funny as you thought you were.
Well, I just want to come to Pro Lyrical's defense, Sam, because yesterday.
I guess you're funnier in your own mind than you are in reality. I guess people don't agree that you're very funny, Pro.
Well, Sam, Pro yesterday had a breakthrough moment where he was self-deprecating. He let me actually come into the room for, honestly, like an hour, and he was very self-deprecating. And I asked him, you know, when your students humiliate you or embarrass you, and you're made to look like an idiot and the fool that you are, like, how do you deal with that humiliation? And he was open and honest about it. He's actually a cool guy, but see, you and him are much more alike than you think, because Pro here will die on a hill and stab himself with Carmelo Anthony's knife to prove that trans people are people. And I agree, they are people. But if you are an NFR,
Such a long leash, man. I give you the longest of leashes.
That guy was
So, Pro, are you?
That guy was probably the most annoying person I've ever come across in my life.
Cheers, man. So, Pro, are you willing to admit that maybe you overestimated your humor abilities? Maybe,
the most
maybe you're a little
annoying
exaggerating.
person I've ever met in my life.
I thought that was pretty funny right there. That was good stuff, right? Good material.
Well, it looks like you lost the poll. It looks like most people don't think you're funnier than me. It looks like that's the consensus of the room. So, you know, maybe you should update your world model given the sort of scientific consensus.
Maybe you should grow red hair. That might make you funnier looking.
I'm not sure if the 20 people in your room that you host is exactly what I would accept as a decent sample.
Well, I was willing to run it in your room, but you were too much of a pussy to let me run it.
I would never do something that corny, bro.
So.
All right, so invite your friends. Maybe they'll, juke the stats.
I think I'm good.
Look at you trying to like keep your dignity when you're just so obviously not as funny as you thought you were, and everyone in the room knows that you're not that funny. It must be kind of like mortifying, where you're in a room full of people that don't think you're that funny, and you're like, oh, but actually I am secretly really funny. Like, what an embarrassment, dude.
The pain and the ire I must be feeling. You're a cool dude. I gotta hang out with you more. I underestimated how cool you are.
Like, all you have is like sarcastic, smarmy, smug remarks. You don't have like a depth of learning. You're not a very curious person.
Good enough, man.
And you're not a very funny person. And the way you know you're not a very funny person is the poll. Is the evidence of that no one voted for you.
The poll definitely is concrete evidence of that.
It is evidence. Do you want to deny that it's evidence?
This also makes you correct that I would be smarter than you with math, but that's just an aside. You know, I think CM should hear your ranking system too. I think it was.
CM knows.
Because
CM knows
CM's
well that I
smart.
think he's a retard. CM knows that I think he thinks
See,
I think he's a retard.
My general philosophy is I think most people are stupid on most things, and they're just smart on a handful of stuff. And CM is speaking on a couple things sometimes that maybe aren't as real.
Hold on. I don't fully disagree with that philosophy. Something I always say is like everyone is ignorant about something. But what exactly are the set of things that CM is not retarded on? Just out of curiosity.
Great question, Sam.
I think
But look, I could tell you personally, like if you asked me, I could give you a list of things that I know a lot about, I'm fairly informed on, and things that I don't know that much about. And I know that I'm not like super interested or super informed on. I think CM is, just based on the maybe hour and a half, 2 hours I heard him talk, he just strikes me as one of those people that just has a general form of profound mental retardation. It's just every topic.
I think to your point, one of the things he's probably not great on is public speaking. So I think that kind of makes everything else look a little lower by default when you're trying to cover it with your public speaking. You know what I mean?
Hey Sam, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Yeah, what?
Why do you prefer capitalism over socialism?
guess I think that capitalism generates wealth and that the default of existence is poverty.
Sorry, I was asking Sam.
The others.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for him to see, but yeah, Beefy is actually is also Sam. But
Sorry for the confusion.
Man, I'll put it this way. The reason why, the system of government I generally support is one that is still capitalist, but where there's heavy government involvement for regulation, where there's so it's kind of two reasons, where there's significant antitrust enforcement and
Sam,
you're in the Matrix. You're in the Matrix. But I just want to interrupt. You're in the Matrix. Sam. You're in the Matrix, Sam. But I just want to say that, Pro, usually you just sit in your own rooms or you're a moderator, and you get to be a little petty tyrant. So I'm commending you on the courage to come in here, where you don't get to have your little petty mod powers. So good job, man. You're having a little bit of courage. It's not just the usual tiny dick moves that you do, where you're always just modding your own spaces. So, good job. Good job growing a penis.
That means a lot coming from a funny guy like you.
Objectively, scientifically, I am funnier than you. That's what the scientific evidence says, and
No, I mean,
so
clearly what someone would do if they're funny is they make a poll about it. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Millis, do you think, just out of curiosity, Millis, do you think that someone making a poll is pretty good evidence of their humor level?
Yeah, I think anyone that makes a poll is obviously not funny.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
You got me. Damn.
So I think I'm out of the Matrix now. But and just concise answer to your question, the reason why I prefer capitalism with significant government oversight and regulation to socialism is just because I think it has a better documented empirical track record of actually improving people's lives.
Gotcha. But of course, you would still advocate for social safety nets and welfare systems, for the betterment of quality of life for those
I actually think yes, and I actually think those things being associated exclusively with socialism is probably just a big political misunderstanding.
Right.
But I'll put it this way. I don't think, how do I say this? I think by and large, most people, especially in the US, that identify as socialists, I mean, honestly, they want the same things as the people that are just more them or liberal leaning, but aren't identifying as socialists. I think those people should find a lot more common ground than they do now, to be honest with you.
All right. I appreciate this little interlude you guys have. But I want to back to how Pro Lyrical thinks CM is smart, whereas if you poll anyone smart on this app, they'll think he's a retard. So you ask Mark, Bob, Millis, Nargis, Zeleny, they'll say, yes, CM is not a smart man. And for some reason, Plural Lyrical cannot notice this. He just can't detect it. It's just, there's something about his pattern recognition skills that are so a little bit deficient. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's he's a dumb fuck.
I think it's a name and group thing.
You think? You think
there's a small group of new atheists in Clubhouse, and they tend to stick together.
You should be able to tell that CM isn't smart. If you're a smart person, you should be able to tell that CM is not smart. That's.
I agree.
I mean, bro, I interacted with him for 2 hours, and it seemed obvious that he was an idiot. But I don't know.
Oh man.
I mean, listing me there is kind of a mute point because I would say for anyone that they're smart. So
it's just this is weird postmodernist thing people do. Nobody is intelligent. Okay, bro, just to avoid any kind of criticism of this person. Oh my god. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Anyone who's heard CM talk for 2 seconds, recognize that he's a rambling buffoon, doesn't say anything remotely intelligent ever. I don't know. A Thursday.
I don't know. I think that Zeleny on intelligence is one of his less. I don't know. I don't buy it, Zeleny. I think I agree with
one of my less intelligent takes, you want to say?
Exactly.
I mean, I think the mere fact that we can like literally measure like how intelligent different LLMs are, it seems like we're not. Seems like it's talking about an objective feature of the world, and not about just like an arbitrary convention or language or something like that. We can be like, oh, this one has this much compute, and this one has this much compute, and then they have different capacities because of that.
No, I'm fine with those more granular concepts. When someone wants to say like, oh, we can measure computing power, and this is the criteria. Okay, define that